saving all my love for you. I'll wait forever if you want me to. Saving all my love for you. I'll wait forever if you want me to. Saving all my love for you. I'll wait forever if you want me to. Saving all my love for you. I'll wait forever if you want me to.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel, where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. Welcome to Do-It-Yourself Budget Hot Rodding. On today's episode of Do-It-Yourself Budget Hot Rodding, we're going to talk about this little piece of plastic right here. This is a Flexlite fan, and totally different than the Flexlite fans I used to see when I was younger. We'll talk about that kind of briefly in this video. But this is going to be the new cooling fan for Project Spirit. Through working, working for, all of you know I work at a vape shop. Most of you who are on the inside know that I work in a vape shop. I'm a salesman, and I'm a very good salesman. That being said, with that sales job, they allow us to take tips. So between some money that I was given around Christmas time by Mama Magnum, and working through tips, we now have the radiator. We got a cooling fan now, which is kind of cool. Cooling fan, cool. Anyhow, so this will mount directly onto Project Spirit's engine, and as the engine turns, the fan will draw air in past the radiator and help keep the engine cool, and which is super important. It'll also help keep the transmission cool too, because we swapped her over to an automatic. Part of me is glad that I did it. A part of me thinks that was really dumb, but that's another subject for another time. First and foremost, why a Flexlite fan? Well, one of the shocking things that I was really kind of surprised about with this particular fan is this is actually, I remember, okay, back in the day, Flexlite made two types of fans, and the first type, if it was plastic, similar to this, it was very flimsy. The blades were real small. I don't think anybody bought those. If they did, I mean, you were in for one of those horror stories, okay? You did not want to buy the cheap plastic, Flexlite fans back in the day. Now, Flexlite did offer two different styles of flex fans, and those were metal, and they flattened out as the vehicle, as the RPMs raised on the vehicle, the blades would actually flatten out and not draw as much air. And a lot of that had to do with way air conditioning works. Evidently you want it to kick on and off, and then it also had to do with emissions, and we don't care about none of that. We're not putting air conditioning back in Project Spirit. That car will never be air conditioned, okay? For one, it doesn't need it. And two, emissions just make it, run more efficiently. Use more of the gas going in the combustion chambers. I'm looking at you, car companies. Anyhow, 60% in ether. This one's a little bit different than what I'm used to seeing. Now, it is plastic, as I mentioned, but please note, I'm actually having to kind of torque down on this thing. All right, and most of the time with an inline 6, or even most of your old school push rod V8s, and we're talking the old school ones, you're not going to see anything past about 6,000 RPMs, whereas that's going to take at least, I'm going to guess and say about right around 4,000 to 5,000 RPMs before we start seeing any actual real flex out of this. Maybe towards the ends, but down here we'll still be pulling a lot of air due to that, which that's good enough for me. Now the hard part from here is, with the new radiator, and it'll have to have a spacer behind it, and this will mount directly to the water pump. The next step is to get it close enough where it's pulling enough air, helping create like a wind vortex, which car companies used to put fan shrouds around these, which is, we'll get to that challenge in a moment, but we have to get it close enough where it doesn't actually hit the radiator, but still close enough to help draw air through to keep Project Spirit's engine, to keep it running cool. Now, with V8s, this you had to have a fan shroud because they sit further back in the engine bay. So you needed what was known as a fan shroud, and as that fan pulled, you had that shroud around that fan. So if you ever see any guys, and I'm no exception to the rule, that's got scuff marks, like old scars right around here, that's where the engine was running, and we put our hands down around that fan shroud while it was running, and the fan came up and nailed our fingers. And that was because, clink, oh shit! Yeah, that's exactly how that worked. And you come back with a little bit of blood on it and go, yep, that was fucking stupid. Now, I've done that. Actually, I probably still got some scars from when I was a teenager and did that for the first time and realized that was pretty fucking stupid. But anyhow, makes my hands hurt thinking about it. So with V8s, you have to have that fan shroud. With the inline sixes, they sit a little bit more forward, so you can get away without having a fan shroud. So just getting this close enough would be fair. Would we want a fan shroud? It would actually help with cooling a great deal, but therein lies the challenge, because a lot of people threw away the inline sixes despite how reliable they are, especially where I live. Which again, that video's in the making. That being said, this should work just fine. And normally I would have preferred to take the old metal one and straighten it out, have it sent off to, say, like the Votech, the Votech, and have them, kind of check and make sure that it was still balanced and everything at their machine shop. And if they needed to do anything, remove it, whatever they had to do to make sure that it was, which that's still a viable option if I don't think this is working. Okay? But you get the general idea. So we've got something that's on our budget, should work fine, and with the system that we're kind of putting together, it'll be just fine. It'll work just fine, and it'll still be a lot of fun. And the main thing is, it's got to be reliable, it's got to be affordable, and it's got to be efficient. That's my big criteria. Performance, that comes with, if you know anything about making an efficient running engine, performance will always fall in right behind it. Especially if just remember, some of the best engines that ever came out were reliable and efficient. And the performance was there. If you remember to keep them reliable and efficient, the performance is always there. But that's, again, another one of those subjects that we'll get to at a later date. Alrighty. So, really quick, we've gotten the radiator, we've gotten, the new fan, and that was on, again, money that was given to me around Christmas time, because I told everyone, just give me money, okay? We're putting it towards Project Spirit. And then, tips from my job. People in my own community, like, here, take some money, put it towards that Maverick, because they know they want to see, one of the communities, the community's real star is not me, okay? It's Project Spirit. That's one of the real stars for the community where I live. To them, that's their real star, okay? They love, people where I live love Project Spirit. And that is so awesome that so many, so many people where I live love that car so much, and I guess you could say, in a lot of ways, I'm making certain dreams come true, which we'll get to that when we get closer to getting Project Spirit back on the road. But anyhow, all right. So we've kind of crossed a lot of territory. We talked a lot about, where things come from. Again, if you want to help to the, give a big help to the Prince Magnum channel, Patreon is a great way to do it. Okay, $1 a month is all we ask, and with that $1 a month, you can have access to Cinnamon's Discord. It's very private and for good reason. Okay, so access to Cinnamon's Discord, $1 a month, which we'll have to explain that one too at some point, why that is. Alrighty, and then of course, we have Teespring. We have Teespring. Alright, we've got some stuff that was left from, years back. We've got Project Spirit merchandise, which we need to add to that line. We've got Project Lena merchandise. I know some of you, there's a few of you out there that are Project Lena fan, got your own fan club practically. That little Pontiac has her own little fan club. Okay, that's pretty awesome. And of course, not only that, but we've got Cinnamon merchandise. We've got not only Cinnamon merchandise, we even have the Chickens Are People merchandise, which that has a real funny story behind it. More time than I want to take in this video. We've also got, my God, the Lady Mavericks Unite, we've got the Lady Mavericks Unite merchandise. My God, we've got merchandise of all sizes and shape, and if you want, some Prince Magnum channel merchandise, get on over there, get something that you're going to enjoy, and have some fun. Because, I mean, how cool is it? This is a chance, if you're sitting there in Prince Magnum, like a Project Spirit shirt, oh my gosh, look at that heart, the wings and everything. Where did you get that? Hey, this is from the Prince Magnum channel merchandise. Your walking billboard. And with your walking, you being a walking, talking billboard for this channel, that grassroots movement continues. Okay? It's through all of you out there that I've got this far. Alrighty. So that brings us to the spot where I get to remind all of you, get out there and work on a project. Don't care what it is, just do something with yourselves. Remember, idle hands and a creative mind go together like oil and water. If you have a sweetheart, sweep them off their feet and do something special for them today. And as always, for every last one of you out there, no one out there has told you that they love you today. Prince Magnum does. God bless you, and have a happy 24th. Thank you.
Saving all my love for you. I'll wait forever if you want me to. Saving all my love for you. I'll wait forever if you want me to.